Hello and welcome to the fourth installment in a series of webinars dedicated to careers in the maritime industry. I am Joel Whitehead, Executive Vice President of the International Propeller Club. We're pleased to bring you this content as you seek to learn more about select career paths in the vast maritime industry. The topic of today's session is maritime law, or as it's called in the world of shipping, Admiralty law. We have two great speakers today, and now I'll turn it over to Dr. Jeremy Smith, International Vice President for Student Ports, who has been working to bring us this great content and further develop and strengthen our student port chapters. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Jeremy Smith.
Thank you, Joel. Today, as Joel was saying, we have two amazing women that's going to be speaking today. The first one is Dr. Jofu. She is actually from Durban, Africa, author, award speaker, professor, and international maritime business in Massachusetts at Maritime Academy, currently living in Massachusetts. She worked on maritime industries throughout Africa, and she's even an author today. Our second guest speaker today is Ashley Higgs. She is a third-year law student at Tulane School of Law in New Orleans, Louisiana, and she is currently the editor-in-chief of Tulane Maritime Law Journal. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm first going to introduce you and have Ashley Higgs speak.
Hi, everybody. I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much to the Propeller Club for inviting me. It is quite the honor. This is my first time doing something like this, so don't judge me. But I want to thank all of you for listening in. I stumbled into maritime law. I am very, very fortunate to have found it. I go to a university where it is kind of our bread and butter. And so I often give these talks to my students here at Tulane about, to law students who love the law, about why they should be interested and love maritime law in particular. And so this talk is a little bit unique because you are all, as I understand, maritime oriented students who are curious about the law. So I'm kind of flipped today. Maritime law is so unique and vast. It touches every single part of the world. There's, a famous book called 90% of Everything that talks about how maritime law touches just about everything that we do in the world. All of your goods, all of your shipping, all of your things, and you guys know that. But the lawyers are kind of behind it all, dealing with the contracts and unique things. And there's all sorts of facets of maritime law. There's blue water, we handle cases like U.S. versus Grueso, which, dealt with possession with intent to distribute kilos of cocaine. And we deal with brown water issues, things like tug and barge crashes to Jones Act claims. We deal with personal injury stuff, maintenance and cure, Jones Act. We deal with insurance and corporate issues like the new Supreme Court decision, Great Lakes versus Raiders, where Great Lakes, an insurance company organized in Germany, headquartered in the UK, entered into an insurance contract for hull coverage with Raiders, a Pennsylvania company, which specified that the contract was governed by New York law, and the parties sued on contract in district court in Pennsylvania. So, what law governs? And lawyers deal with all those issues. We deal with cruise ship stuff, anything from sexual assaults to negligence to slip and falls to cruise ship worker claims, cargo issues like the MSC Flaminia that happened here in New Orleans. It was a tank containers filled with dangerous chemicals that explode when they're warmed. They let them sit on the port in Louisiana summer heat. And if anyone's been to Louisiana, we know that it's pretty hot here. And you guessed it, the containers exploded, and we lawyers had to deal with that. We do politics and international disputes, which is kind of something that fascinates me, like the Citgo Petroleum versus Starstone case. Venezuelan oil embargoes causing millions of dollars of damages to a ship stuck off the coast of Venezuela loaded with illegal embargoed oil. And so whether you have a background in maritime or a background in law or neither or both, you belong on this call, and we are so, so happy to have you. Um, it's never too late to pursue maritime law. We have students like me who went right from high school to college to law school, and now I'm going into the workforce. We have 70-year-olds who have had a well-established career and then decided to change paths late in their life. I can attest, I have a 70-year-old in my law school class, and that's kind of the cool thing about law school is that we've got everybody from all walks of life and everyone in between, and there's so many different ways to do it. And I think my colleague Portia will speak a little bit about those different paths. So Portia, take it over.
Thank you very much, Ashley. Greetings to all of the people that set up this Propellers Club Zoom meeting, and our students. As Ashley has briefly introduced, I am also in the maritime law field. My work is more on the educational side, and that means that I am a professor, and part of my job is to profess, and that's why we make sure that we turn out publications every year. And the funny thing about publications is that you get to meet the maritime law world through written through literature, and to be able to influence policy in different places and give advice and do arbitrations and be in panels as a result of that work. So that's generally what I do. I am an attorney. I'm admitted in South Africa. I have associations with bars around the world. So one of the things that I do as soon as I get into a nation to serve there. For example, I served in the South Pacific oceans, in the Oceania area. And my duty there was to assist the small island nations to set